Quick question. What if I told you there's one thing which was stopping you from success? What if I told you that one thing was fear? Okay, I've heard it before. You agree? You see fear as an object of failure. Let me explain a quick story. Burning house. If I offered you £1,000 to enter that burning house, would you do so? No, absolutely not, Tom. I will not enter that house for £1,000. Okay, I can understand. What if I offered you £10,000? Would you enter that burning building? Again, absolutely not, Tom. I will not do that. Okay. So we'll up the offer again. £100,000 to enter that burning building. Would you do it? Again, absolutely not. No way would I enter that building for £100,000. The risks are too high and the value isn't enough. My life is worth more than £100,000. Okay, I said. What if I offered you £1 million to enter that burning building? Again, the guy said no. He says, my life and my moments, my happiness would be a lot better if I didn't take that. My value is more than £1 million, the gentleman said. Okay, I understand. What about £10 million? And I noticed something in his behaviour. The amount of money went up. The longer it took him to reply, it got to a stage where I think he was questioning himself. I think he was questioning whether it was worth it. Whether the value of entering a burning building was worth it. Now, I changed the question. I asked him, okay, what would you do if your child was in that house? Would you enter then? Oh, absolutely, no doubt. And it only took 3 to 4 seconds for the gentleman to reply. Now, how does this relate to fear? How does this relate? Tell me, Tom, how this will help me. Okay, I will. But I want you to keep this a secret. I go back to childhood. I'd go on a holiday, I'd be in a swimming pool. Did anyone else get that fear that there could be a shark in that swimming pool? I know I certainly did. Now, I look back at that today, and what a ridiculous thought that was. How would the shark get in the swimming pool for a start? Yet alone, how would the shark adapt in them conditions? Now, I go back to today's society and the fears we have. A lot of these fears is talking on the phone. Now, this is crazy. We are in a society where we are social. We are meant to be social creatures. We're meant to be talking to each other. So, to fear picking up a phone, it seems crazy, doesn't it? But again, people are afraid of picking up a phone. Why is that? Because they're afraid of the response they get on the other side. Now, let's go back to caveman times. Caveman times we lived in a cave. However, they started to push the boundaries. They said, okay, what is out of this cave? What is the life we're missing out on? Now, if we're back in that situation and it was a telephone, how many of us would have stayed in the cave? How many of us wouldn't have gone exploring? And this is a message I want to share today. Don't let your fear control your actions. Go back to the burning house with the gentleman. Now, he actually valued himself more than the £1 million. How many of us would do the same? Soon as we include his kid, his child, his firstborn into that burning building, straight away he would enter. Why? Because the goal is high enough. The goal killed the fear. If he could save his child, he would do anything. Absolutely anything. Including entering that burning building. So how can we relate this in life? Don't let your fear. Now, fear is just an acronym for false evidence appearing real. I go back to the shark in the swimming pool as my childhood. How, again, I question to this day, how would that shark have got in that pool? It just wouldn't have worked out. If that shark was in the swimming pool, I don't think he would have bothered about me. He wouldn't have cared about me. His thought would be of sheer panic. How do I get out of this pool? So do not let your fear, that false evidence appearing real, stopping you. I go back to the telephone. People are afraid of picking up a telephone. Now, what's the response they're going to get on the other end? Yes, some of them don't know. And even if the outcome of that telephone call isn't the outcome you wanted, you're one step closer to success. You're one step closer than if you didn't take that action. If you didn't take that action, go back to caveman times, you'd still be sat in that cave. You'll still be wanting to call that person. And day after day you'll be putting it off. You start making excuses. Why shall I do this? I don't want to do this. The fear is so high. I cannot think of doing this, Tom. Please don't let me do this. Now, let me pick one of you in the audience. Your chosen topic, something you are really interested in. Now, if I asked you to give a 2-minute tribute, a 2-minute report on that hobby, in front of, at Wembley Arena, 80,000 people, at Wembley Stadium, or Wembley Arena, 30,000 people, who will panic? A lot of people would. But they have the knowledge, saying that false evidence, which is appearing real, which is stopping them. Now, how can you stop this? You need to set your goal high. Set your goal, like the child in the burning building. The goal was high. And that's what I want you to do. Go away, set the biggest goal. I hear you, Tom. It may not be realistic. Forget about realism. If it's something which will help you take action today, get that dream down. Write it down. Look at it every day. Every morning before you do a task, look at that goal. Look at that dream. And before you know it, you would take action. And the fear is gone because the goal is higher. So that's a message I want to repeat. Aim your goals higher. Do something today which will get you a step closer to them goals tomorrow. That's all, guys. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you all soon. Cheers.